All right. I call this twice told tales of tonsillectomies. How many people here have had their tonsils out? Not many, like about 4 or 5. I upped the average because I've had mine taken out twice. The first time, I was perhaps 2 or 3, and I have very vague memories. One of my memories was sitting in the kitchen, and suddenly my doctor shows up. And my mom is there, my grandmother's there. They plunk me in my high chair, and the doctor says, "Can you count to 10?" And I'm so smart. I said, "Yeah." And he puts this stuff over a little cloth that smelled funny. And I go, 1, 2, 3. And I'm out. And I wake up in my parents' bed. And I'm told I can have all the ice cream I want. Well, at 2 years old, what do you know about carbohydrates and, cholesterol and calories? Why do all the bad things begin with C? I don't know. But this is really good. And my older brother is even jealous because I get to sleep in the big bed and I get all the ice cream I want. Well, fast forward about 22 years. I'm already married, I'm teaching, and I keep getting sore throats. And as a result, I sound like Minnie Mouse, or I sound like Godzilla. But I don't sound like myself too often. So I go to the doctor. He does a throat swab thinking that I may have strep throat. And he comes back and, like the previous teller, it's a good news, bad news thing. Well, the good news is you don't have strep throat. The bad news is you have to have your tonsils taken out. And I go, well, that's ridiculous. I had them taken out when I was about 2 or 3. And tell me about that. And I tell him I was at home and everything. He says, I'm going to send you to a otorhinolaryngologist. Try saying that 3 times fast. It's an ear, nose, and throat guy. So he says, the ear, nose, and throat man takes a little light, looks in, and says, yes, you may have had your tonsils taken out, but they didn't get down to the root. Evidently, tonsils have roots, and you've got to get in there and get the root. So this time it's going to be done correctly. It's going to be done at Mass Eye and Ear, yay Mass General, and I am told the major problem with adult tonsillectomies is bleeding. So here's vitamin K. Eat lots of spinach and have vitamin K, and that gives it clotting. Okay, so comes the day of the surgery, and I have chosen the week before Thanksgiving because we have most of that week off. We get out early Wednesday, so all I needed to do was lose 2.5 days, and I have like 9 days to recuperate. All right, I'm scheduled for early in the morning. They've done all these pre-tests and blood and, my heart rate and everything, and I'm all set to go. Now, you have to imagine, in my 20s, I looked very young. So they've scrubbed me up. They've put me in one of these little cupcake holder type hats, like a shower cap, and no makeup, no jewelry, and they send me down to surgery. As I mentioned, I am a teacher. I have left plans for the substitute. I wake up in recovery and I look up at the clock on the wall. It is now 10 o'clock. And I go, I'll bet the kids are still playing. Because my concern was that I taught kindergarten, that the substitute wouldn't stop playtime and sit them down to do their work. The nurse looks at me, pats me on my shoulder. What is that, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, wrap up. Pats me on my shoulder and says, "That's okay, sweetie. When you feel better, you can go out to play."